In this episode, Big Red and Bracey battle of bad omens in Ballandean.
There it is there. Beautiful little Murray Cod.
Welcome to my fishing place, the place to be. And in this episode, we're back chasing the mighty Murray Cod.
If there's one bloke that's going to catch fish in the area that I haven't, it will be David Brace.
Geez, that hit hard.
Bracey and I, we had a bit of a case of the need to catch Murray Cod.
Yep.
We made a plan to head off down to around Stanthorpe to chase Murray Cod.
Awesome adventure. I just love that country. Yeah, they don't call it God's country for no reason. It's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
So to start off with, Bracey starts talking about scenery, how lovely everything is to look at, the clouds and the water.
It's so special.
So special. What does that normally mean to a fisher?
It means they caught nothing. In fact, the omens were there though. It's what baffles me is that you broke the rule of omens because they were all over this from the start.
Yeah, they were, because obviously, you know, Pricey met me here at my place and we had to travel to Bracey's, and we were driving down the road and I was just practicing safe driving and looking in my rear vision mirror, and all of a sudden I just see this kayak go through the air. I landed on the side of the road and said, Bracey, I think I've lost the kayak. So we pull over, and Pricey, because he's younger and fitter, he ran back up the kayak.
And this is why you're meant to tie the kayaks down.
We put it back on and tied it back on this side.
What's going on, Big Red?
Make sure you tie your kayaks down in future. Woo! Bit of adventure to start the day. Well, we just thought, oh, it's heavy as. How's that ever going to move? And so we found the kayak. We lost Pricey's brand new paddle, and so we get to Bracey's, and we just.
I was in disbelief.
What do you mean you didn't tie it down? Well, you know. Yeah, so it was omens, and then so anyway, we travelled out, and we got to our ACOM, and we went for a fish that first afternoon, and then I snapped my rod in two places. And I lost my brag mat. That was the next thing I did. And we had a few bad omens at the start.
We did.
Now, how do you break a rod into three pieces? Like two is a logical place to land, but three?
Well,
Here we go.
I mean, yeah. Oh, no, Bracey, maybe you could shed some light on how Big Red broke a rod in three places.
Well, if we go back and maybe have a look at some past footage of Big Red hitting trees with lures and all that, I reckon maybe just the top of the rod may have got wrapped with some line, and as he's cast...
snap. Did you see that?
I heard it.
How does that even happen? So I was...
You weren't happy.
It snapped twice.
Boom, boom, boom. Snapped in three places.
Oh, it could have been sabotage. We're not ruling out sabotage. Wow. Anyways, but it looked very promising, the water, didn't it?
It really did. It had everything going for it.
We fished that first hole that afternoon.
Did you get any fish that first arvo though?
No fish first arvo. That night, remember, we went down to that crossing. We just tried there. I think we saw a couple little cod. I saw a cod. Oh, didn't catch it. So yeah, tough day.
We made a plan that evening.
It's triple as long as the one we fished today. Should let the day guide us.
But mind you, well, this is on the back of some rain, so it wasn't a stable period leading up to the time that we're actually going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I reckon we're going to struggle. We're going to really struggle to find fish.
you and I both had identified that area on that other road that looked very fishy, didn't we?
We did.
We got to the gates and said, you know, private property, no access. We're like, okay, so we got in there anyway.
It's a gazetted registered road still. Yeah.
But it was.
It was. 100% it was.
Of course, we've private property. We just walked in.
And that was one of our main areas that we wanted to fish in Ballindine. So yeah, a week prior we just sat down and on Google Maps and worked out that's exactly where we thought the fish would be holding. How's your confidence?
Well, I'm excited because there's a no trespassing sign.
Being up in this elevation, especially early in the morning, sometimes you can just see cod up in the shallows, just swimming and then going down and sight casting them.
That was a beautiful big hole, and that's where you caught your.
So it was just downstream of a little waterfall. I might have jumped ahead of Big Red just to...
Team Red, there's division in the team.
Yeah, he was snagged up upstream. It was still a little bit of a challenge to get my cast in, across the other side of the creek there, and yeah, wheeled it across in the faster flowing water. And as I was wheeling it back, you could feel the slack water, and then you'd hit the rapids, and yeah, it was when it hit one of those big pockets of an eddy, just boom. Yeah, and I was fishing quite light as well. I like fishing light for cod as much as I possibly can, but obviously if I know there's bigger fish in that pool or river system, I'll fish a lot heavier. So I was only fishing 10-pound platypus platinum braid mainline and 20-pound stealth leader.
We've talked about this on other shows, but you've got to understand the terrain that you're fishing. You know, you've said there that you could feel the lure, the spinnerbait come down with the current. You could feel it go against the rock. You could feel it in the eddy. That's really important, isn't it? Particularly in cod fishing, because to know where the fish are, but then to know what your lure's doing or what your spinnerbait lure, whatever swim bait is doing at any particular point in time is a real recipe to success, isn't it? Like in targeting those cod.
100%. And like this is the lure that I was actually catching it on. It's a TT Striker spinnerbait, and it's got a willow blade on it. Slow rolling across that set of rapids. You would have been out in the front of that, just in an ambush mode, waiting for anything to come over those rapids. So yeah, we've been persisting all morning, but this is what we're after. In that kind of circumstance, with the slender shape of this particular blade, it'll retrieve a lot faster in that faster flowing water, opposed to something like this with a big Colorado blade. It'll get through that water column, but probably not as quick. So to make your lure work in those faster flowing waters, whether you're using a bib lure or whatever, you need to be going as fast as the water, if not faster, to actually make that lure work. It's no point having this lure going at the slower or at the speed of the water, as this will not be spinning. And that's what attracts the fish as such. It's the flash and vibration. That's what we've come for. I'm a happy man now. See if we can get a few more. Release this one back. Righto. Oh, now for Big Red to get one. I'm just going to take 5 and just take that in. Yeah, I'm just going to sit back.
I remember before the trip you said to me, you're going to fish lighter. You said, I'm going to take some lighter gear. And I'm just like, I just love bait casters. So, but I think that to give you a bit of an edge.
Hey Big Red, how many fish you caught?
You could cast a lot further, couldn't you? And even
100%.
From the point of the fish seeing you or anything, like you cast a long way.
Yeah.
And I remember where you caught that first fish, I had to come right around even to reach that spot with the bait caster.
Yeah.
It's a lot heavier gear.
Yeah, definitely. And using a spin rod, you're obviously covering a lot more water. Yeah.
Because as soon as Bracey caught one on a red spinnerbait, of course I tried on a red spinnerbait. The good thing about spinnerbaits, because they are fairly snagless, you can almost read how the bottom of the water is, and knowing where those fish must have just been sitting in the crevices in the rock.
Oh, 100%. And if you have a look at the underside of this lure, it's missing all its paint, and that's where you've got to be dragging that spinnerbait as close as you can off the bottom. And as it's hitting a rock or something like that, just the sediment is enough just to stir up and attract that fish from a distance as well. It's chasing that sediment, and also with the flash and vibration of the lure.
Bracey caught his first fish. I was really happy for Bracey that he caught one and I hadn't. So we moved up the creek a little bit, and then Bracey got another fish, again just on that edge I think, but...
Oh, yep. Bracey's on.
coming towards me. I backed my drag rod off earlier. Big ledge out here. I suspect this might be the fish that hit me earlier. Just going to take my time with this fish.
Nice.
Taking it slow. Anything could happen here as well. Might try bringing it over this ledge now to see where I'm actually walking. Beautiful. Woo! I'm pumped. That is so good. Ah. Awesome looking fish. There you go. The red and black scaled striker spinnerbait doing the job again. I'm unsure how big this fish is, but I'm super pumped. Definitely gonna have cod thumbs after all this. Beautiful fish. Woo! Let's go and get another one.
Can't go any better than that.
Then you got some sand in your reel.
Yeah, after catching the fish and bringing it up, the reel fell in the sand, and yeah.
And so Big Red used that as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you did see the reel fall in the sand?
Well, I don't know. Well,
Did Big Red drop the reel because there's a lot of...
Because how does it get all over, like, you know, like it's been rolling?
my rod accidentally fell over and the reel ended up falling in some of this sand. He's clean it out as best I could, so I've taken the spool off it and everything. There must be a little bit of grit in there that I'm not 100% happy with.
Just secretly, and Bracey caught his second one. Let's say that he had light leader and it rubbed off on a rock or something. I'd go, yeah, Bracey. Possibly a little dance on the inside. Now that's never to see the light in that. Just a little jig, mate. And that's terrible. I feel bad for saying it. Casting dispersions on my integrity. But anyway, so Bracey, you know, a little bad, had some sand in his reel. So I used that opportunity to walk ahead and cast, and yeah, got my first cod for the trip. Only cod for the trip. And yeah, again, it was in the crease of that rock. Okay, bogus.
Yeah! Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yes!
Pumped.
Well done, mate.
Finally. I had 2 hits on that. Yeah, I took the plastic off.
You've lowered the profile, and that's all about adapting.
How good is that?
That's awesome. Well deserved.
Lowering that profile, and next cast, get a fish.
Well done, mate.
Yes.
Well done.
So there's the spinnerbait. What I had before was this bait on, it was this little Z-Man on there. First cast after I took it off, got a fish.
Yeah!
Yes, Bracey. So we've got a couple there, but I guess we didn't catch any more in that section of the creek, but I've never seen country almost that beautiful. There should have been a lot more cod than what there was.
And in hindsight, we probably should have stuck to that waterhole, because I reckon there was a lot more. But we were just, like, we got riverbend fever pretty much, and what's around the next corner, what's around the next corner, and you just wanted to keep on going and going and going.
So you left fish to find fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got mesmerised by the beautiful scenery. So probably these guys are sitting down having a picnic, enjoying the view. That's why they didn't catch any more fish. But I'm so glad you just love the scenery so much. It's so special.
I don't know where the fish are.
So you did the classic leave fish to find fish.
Yeah, we did.
We did. I know, Bracey did mention it a couple of times. You want to come back at night, remember, too.
Yeah, I did.
3 fish this morning. Very, very fishy. We think we should have got more.
We're just back here now and serviced my reel after falling in the sand after catching a fish. I ended up getting a little bit of grease off one of the nipples off the tractor there and put it on the drive shaft of the reel, so she's all good.
Packed up our gear, everyone's tied on their own kayak because no one trusts one another. We're going to head down a bit more south, find another river system and see if it is going to fire. And so we actually went down to Glen Lyon Dam. We got there sort of late in the afternoon, had a bit of a kayak around. Didn't get anything. I spent the night at Glen Lyon.
Pretty good day. We walked a lot this morning. 3 fish. Beautiful, beautiful country. Amazing country. Expected more though.
Definitely fish in the river. They're just not on the tube. We're sort of moving to a new system in the hope that we can get a few more tomorrow.
The next morning, we headed to the Demerit, which you've fished a bit, Dave.
Yeah, correct. We turned up at about 6:30, got the kayaks ready, and we were on the water by about 7 o'clock in the morning.
We were too, that's right. And unfortunately, we got in the water and Pricey said, oh, there's a bubble trail from the back of my kayak. Apparently when it bounced off the asphalt on Severn Way.
Sound of impending doom.
Another omen.
It's a top little spot there. I've fished it quite a lot and I know the area quite well. I was really confident of actually getting fish there. So you got river gums on the bank, a lot of lay down timber. It's a lot of hard work, but it's very rewarding as well.
But again, that was beautiful, beautiful water, and it was good. Even in that section, there were the rapids and that fast flowing water, which broke up. It wasn't just one big long stretch of river. And I think that spot where you caught 2 fish, because I remember you saying to me, I should have twigged, because you said, oh, I'm going to cast that log at the end of that. I said, yeah, okay, you go ahead and do that. And of course, 2 fish later.
There it is there. Beautiful little Murray Cod. Been peppering the snags hard this morning and this is the result. So stoked. Woo! Let's release her. Woo! Doesn't get much better than that. Didn't tell you at the time that I've caught that fish about 5 or 6 times. It's times over a 10-year period.
There it is.
You knew I was coming.
You caught 1 fish by that log and then we fished down a bit. You come back up and then caught another one.
Woo! There we go. Here goes another chunky cod. Beautiful. Number 2 this morning. I am absolutely pumped. Nothing beats chasing these fish. Have a look at that. That is unbelievable. That is Australia right there. Green and gold. That is awesome. What a day. Woo! Oh, beautiful. Doesn't get much better than that, I can tell you. So I was starting to feel a bit sorry for Big Red at this stage.
No fish. And then we hiked way up and...
There was an Anna branch, which is a section of the river where it breaks off from the main creek. And I knew there was a few cod up there, so I sent Big Red upstream just a little bit and yeah, he cast and cast and cast. I end up sneaking one out from underneath his nose again.
Oh, he did. Oh, have you peppered that
yeah,
snag?
Yeah, Brace like you cast there, yep.
Yep. Only little. Geez, they hit hard. That faster flowing water along those logs, just prime country for them, just to ambush. I'll let it go. Job done.
And then, like, I don't want to brush over all the fish you caught, Dave. That's the last thing I want to do. But, you know, we tracked right up the river and... We paddled a fair way, and I remember on the way back, just that storm in the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
We paddle back, we go to bed, this storm hits, and just like buffeting the tent. Like I was in a single tent, hearing this heinous storm, and like my little tent, like only my weight, which is not much, was keeping the tent on the ground. The tent's like at least half an hour, and then I hear this thump.
We were hit by a severe storm.
So I finally stick my head out.
Can I just cut in there?
Yeah.
In that half an hour, you were like, cutting Zeds in your tent. I had my hands outside my swag and I was hanging onto the gazebo like this the whole time. There was 3 bathtubs of water sitting on my chest.
It's a funny thing.
This is saturated. It was coming in sideways. The wind was that bad, the lightning and everything. I could see everything that was happening because the lightning was in, and I was grabbing hold of the gazebo. And then it all filled up with water. I had about 3 bathfuls of water just dump on me. I felt the water come. It was like high tide, just coming up.
Oh, that was funny, yeah.
Well, here we are at Camp Hope. And if you're after a quality piece of equipment that will keep you dry and safe.
It was horrendous last night.
It's what you call a learning trip.
Yeah, it was a bit of a recon trip, absolutely.
Always tie in your kayak, put the paddles inside the car, check your kayak for leaks, check your weather maps, carry better lures than Bracey.
Sand to throw in his reel.
Yeah. But it was a good trip, good fun trip.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome.
There was some bad omens, but you pulled out fish anyway. Then I think Big Red, you rang Dazza and I and said, we've got to go Murray Cod fishing again. We had a try for it, didn't go quite as planned, but let's get back out there and have another shot.
Exactly.